What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton. Hold on. This don't work. If it don't work. This don't work unless it work. And I need to be able to see y'all. And if I can't see y'all, then I'm not going to be able to interact with y'all. And if I can't interact with y'all, that means that we may not have as good of a show as I want us to have. Let's get it popping. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, year of our Lord. And it is popping out here in these streets. What's happening, friends and family? Y'all ready to bring Philadelphia to the front of the congregation? I certainly am. There we go. There we go. What's going on? Good morning, friends. What's happening? What up? Hey, let me get a city check since we tapped in with Chicago yesterday. And now we tapping in with Philly today. I want to get a city check. Where everybody from? Shout out to my people on Facebook. Shout out to my people on YouTube. Shout out to my upcoming people that's going to be on Rumble. Where y'all from? Where y'all residing at today? Where the money reside? What's up, Yvette? What up? You know, we were fooled for a long time. We thought that it was Detroit. What up to my Detroit players? Orlando in the building, Albuquerque, VA, Dallas, Texas, Birmingham, Chicago, Richmond, Philly, Virginia, New England, Indiana, Michigan, DMV, Indianapolis, Huntsville, Houston, Durban, Philly, the Bronx, Charlotte, Yaktown, what up, Pontiac, Detroit, Tulsa, Florida, Raleigh, Philly. Oh, Philly, y'all got to come to the front of the congregation. Savannah, DC, Louisiana, Detroit, East Side, living in Arizona, Atlanta, Harrisburg, West Bloomfield, that's Metro Detroit, Seattle, Toronto, Dallas, Philly. You got a lot of Philly people up in here. Charleston, Ohio, Philly, Maryland, Dallas, Louisiana, Naptown, Vero Beach. Where's Vero Beach? Charlotte, BX, New York. What up? What up? What up? North Carolina, West Philly, San Diego, East Chicago, Portland, Grovetown. Naptown turned into Philly. Oak Ridge, Tampa, Ontario. I can't wait to go to Ontario. Fort Lauderdale and Atlanta, Pearland, Queens, Philly, Winston-Salem, Baltimore. I do know what happened in Baltimore, but y'all got to send me that in my email. London, what up, London, Florida, New Orleans, H-Town, Killeen, Texas. What up, G-Man 313? Goth Batty in the building. Clarkston, Arizona. Detroit basketball. What up, Nancy P? Plutonium says Stockton, Dade County, California, Charleston, St. Louis, Vero Beach, the Eagles, Vero, Ottawa. Shout out to my Canadians. St. Louis, Miami, Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, Detroit is heavy in here. Philly is heavy in here. Texas heavy in here. London is heavy in here. Shreveport, Bermuda, Margate. Where's Margate? Stockbridge, Arkansas, 12th Street over on Detroit, Indiana, never in the news, Seattle, Kuwait. Shout out to my Kuwait people. What up? What up? Bluegrass, Wakanda, DMV. See, I always know when it's time to go ahead and start the show because y'all start throwing in crazy stuff, talking about Wakanda. What up? What up? And Atlanta is not Wakanda. Let me tell you. Let me make sure that I help y'all to understand that right away. All right, for all of my people that's restreaming this because you was not on time, for all of my people that's going to be tapping in not on time because you know what time we start every single day. What up? I appreciate you. We got a full show for you today. I absolutely am planning to have a great time on here with y'all every single morning. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to tap in with you guys in the morning because I want to get your day started off right. It's nothing like being able to burn 2 hours at your job, laughing, joking, and being educated all at the same time on the greatest morning show on earth. So, this is a participation show. I interact with you, you interact with me. We do this live. This is not pre-recorded. We are not planning this. We're not doing none of that. We just cook off the cuff. We have great conversations. And now I didn't skip Iowa. Shout out to Iowa. And I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to participate. Yes, I was on Dr. Phil. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to participate. And so the first thing that I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that you hit a like for the algorithm. I don't think that that's too much to ask. Some people have already hit a like when they came in the door. They understand what it is that we're doing here. This is an interactive show. Hit a like for the algorithm, number one. Number two, if you have not got that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Teach Hanley is the long-term sponsor of this show. If you are using any other Teach Pack, I need you guys to remove yourself and then bring yourself back to the front of the congregation. Hit the link in the description. Ladies, get it for your men. Fellas, don't wait for the lady to get it for you. 30% off your first order and a free gift is phenomenal. I use it. You use it. It's people in the chat. That's Teach Hanley. Participants based off of the link that's in the description. If you're using any other Teach link, get rid of it and pick the one in the description. That's number two. Number three, bag chasers. What up, though? Blue Chip G just called it out right when I was about to talk about it. Shout out to Blue Chip G says, what up, Anton? Shout out to the bag chasers. If you are not a part of the Patreon, I just dropped a video in there, not yesterday, but the day before, and I'm going to drop another one this weekend. If you are not a part of the Patreon, for those of you that are new here, or for those of you that may not be familiar, is basically a group of people that are going in the directions that you're going in, and we call ourselves bag chasers. There is a Discord that is attached to any of the most, or the link in the Discord to the Discord is attached to any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. But on top of the entertainment, I also drop in there. I do live streams in which I break down exactly how it is that I'm getting to the bag. I give y'all life hacks. Some of y'all have really, really leveled up as far as leveraging the information that I gave you as far as making an extra $500,000 to $1 million a year based off of my own life experiences. I teach you how to open up businesses. I show my paycheck. I show my corporate check. I show how much I'm busting down from content creation. I show my brokerage account. And then we leverage information in addition to meeting up in person. I got a meetup coming November 4th. We leverage the information and we leverage each other because we are a network of people that's going in a certain direction. We leverage people in order to continue to win, and we make sure that we work on our character as we go along. Also coming in November, in addition to the Patreon meetup that's going to be in DC, also coming in late November, I am doing a fund your business pitch session, sort of like Shark Tank. I've done it before. You guys can go back and watch a couple of different videos that I have on the Patreon from a while ago. Scroll down, which you have to be a bag chaser. There is no entrance fee, right? But I am going to be funding your businesses, and I'm going to give you the seed money, as many as I possibly can. Seed money to people that pitch their businesses. Some businesses won't make it. Some is not worth it. But I will not take any equity in your business. But I am giving people seed money in order to get their business started, in order to vet their business effectively, right? Because I want you to leverage the information that we're giving you in order to be successful. If you're not a part of the Patreon, if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, it's thousands of us. Thousands and thousands and thousands of us. Make sure you tap in. It's less than what you pay monthly for Netflix. Make sure you tap in. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with the show. I will be reading super chats throughout the show, but let me give a shout out to Mike, that dude over there on Cash App. Hit me off almost every single weekday. Every single weekday it be popping. Somebody said, when we going to meet up in Canada? I'm going on tour next year. I'm going on an official tour next year. And if you are a Patreon member and if you are a bag chaser, you will be getting in for free for wherever it is that I tour. It will be open to the public, but the bag chasers will be getting priority tickets. If the tickets then sell out or the tickets is removed because all of the bag chasers got them first, then they just won't be available for the general public. But I am going on tour for my Fireside Chat tour. We have not figured out what the name of that is going to be, but it's going to be a tour next year. And we're planning for that, and we're going to go to as many cities as we possibly can. I'm telling you, man, listen, if I can hit 50 cities next year, I'm going to do it. If I'm going to use that diamond status. I'm going to use that diamond status with Delta. If I can hit 50 cities next year and tap into every single place that I can possibly go, UK, Toronto, Africa, Asia, wherever it is that y'all are, I'm coming to your city. I'm definitely will. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Make sure you got your water. Make sure you shared this with a family and friend. And then we're going to go from there. More details on the tour coming soon, Chris James. Shout out to you. All right, so the first thing that I want to get into before we hold Philadelphia accountable, I know that Target has closed several stores in all of your inner cities. 9 stores to be exact. New York, Portland, you know what it is. All of the stores that y'all like to steal from. I remember when Kmart used to be a big thing. I drove by there the other day. They planning to demolish the Kmart headquarters, the Sears headquarters over in Troy, Michigan. I remember when Kmart used to be a thing, right? And y'all stole them blind. Stole them blind. We going to get into that. We going to get into Target. We going to get into y'all looting Philadelphia. Shout out to y'all. We're going to get into U.S. factories coming back to the United States of America. We're going to get into evictions, and that's starting to spread across America. I'm going to show y'all who the latest victims are now that the moratorium is expanded. But the first thing that I want to start with, Lululemon just opened up a new store down in downtown Detroit, right across from the Gucci store. And I know that Rihanna's Savage Fenty or whatever, they opening up a new store in downtown Detroit. Detroit is popping. I'll get to that in a minute. I want to start the show off differently today. Start the show off differently today. DK said, I don't blame him, save money and limit theft. We get there. I want to start the show off differently today. Before we go into the craziness, before I show you what's happening across America, before I also show you where it's coming back to the money, the first thing that I want to do is I want to have a conversation about athletes and entertainers and money. Often at times, we see a lot of these people get these crazy contracts, right? And a lot of times you guys can't fathom what it's like to be able to get a 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, 60 million, 70 million, 80 million, 90 million, maybe even $100 million contract. Could you imagine what it's like to get a $100 million contract? Do you know what that game check would look like? Well, fortunately, we've had an NFL player that plays for the San Francisco 49ers go online and he showed his actual paycheck and he broke down what that looks like for the general public. And I thought that this would be a great way for us to start the show off today so that we can get more insight into how the other half live. You know, me and you, we all regular You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure it out. We striking for the UAW. We trying to get our 32 to the 42, 42 to the 52 per hour. We trying to get our $170,000 per year. Most people that's, you know what I'm saying, making six figures statistically is living paycheck to paycheck still. And most people are like, I don't know how that's possible. Well, let's see how the other half lives. I want to show you what it's like through this NFL player. I think his name is, let me just double check. I'm not Arik Armstead. Arik Armstead. I believe he's the longest tenured player over at the San Francisco 49ers. And he decided to share what he makes. So before we really start to deep dive into the show, because he actually shows the game check, the paycheck from the game check. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you, my friends. He actually shows his game check. And I think that this is important for us to have a conversation, because even when you get money, it doesn't necessarily mean that you understand money. All right, so let's start it off with a positive note before we go over to Philadelphia, and let's go from there. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon, and make sure you share this with your family and friends. Let's start it off.
I want you guys to see how actual NFL game check works. Let's break it down. Quick disclaimer here. My salary is on Google, so you can look up how much I make. This is for motivational and educational purposes only. I'm not here to flex on anybody. I've been extremely blessed in my life, and I work hard, and I do make a substantial amount of money. But this isn't to flex on anybody. This is so people can understand and see how it works in the NFL. So
one thing I don't like is I hate music on these videos, especially these TikTok videos. Can't stand it. It really does take away from the quality of the video itself. But let's go ahead and get into it, because he actually breaks down his paycheck. Let's get it.
Whenever I get my game check, the first number I look at is this number right here.
So let's look at this. Let's look at this, right? The first number he looks at is the amount that he takes home. The amount that he takes home. It looks like $198,210. So I believe they get paid per game, if I'm not mistaken. Almost all NFL players, if I'm not mistaken, gets a game day check. It's per game, right? So just imagine getting 16 checks. Your take-home pay is $200,000 per paycheck. Now remember, he's showing you his salary, and he's very well paid, and he's the longest tenured member over at the San Francisco 49ers, allegedly, right? But at the same time, you got to also understand that most players in any league, especially the NFL, do not have a long runway. They're not going to have a Shannon Sharp career. They're not going to have a Jerry Rice career. They're not going to have a Tom Brady career. That does not happen. Russell Wilson, none of that, okay? So remember, this is the game check. After taxes, he takes home $198,210.92. All right?
And it says amount. And I know that means that's what hit my account. When you want to make yourself a little sad, then you go back up to the top and look at what you're supposed to get at this number right here.
All right, so let's rewind that real quick. The amount that he made versus what he took home is two different things, right? So the amount that he grossed is $393,000, and the amount that he took home is $198,000. Now, a lot of people are going to say, man, I'd love to take home $200,000. I'd love to take home $200,000, right? But look at the taxes. Okay, so let's round up. $400,000 game check, $200,000 you taking it home. That's 50% of what it is that you grossed. You only taking home 50%. That's crazy to me. I couldn't imagine that even a little bit. Look, when you start to get money, I'm going to tell y'all it's a little bit different, because it's like y'all having y'all regular job. Remember when you first got your job? Remember when you first got your first job? When you first got that good job? Remember when you first started making six figures? Remember when you first got your bonus check? And you're like, man, you start planning for it and all of this. And then you look up and half of that mug is gone. Union dues, taxes, FICA, state, local, Social Security taxes, all of this stuff, right? He's literally got half of a check. Whatever it is that y'all think that these people make, cut it in half. That's what I'm telling you. If you see somebody and they get a $50 million check, well, $25 million is still good. When you start to get money, I'm just telling you, when you start to get money, you don't look at how much you're taking home. You look at how much you're giving away. That's the finesse. Remember, the government never had to lift a finger in order to get half of his paycheck. This is the greatest finesse in the world is taxes. And they say eat the rich. And this is why the top 1% pays 95% of the taxes. They pay 95% of everything that go into the coffer. As much as y'all think that people are getting tax breaks, they pay 95% of all of the money that goes into the federal government. It comes from the 1%, top 1%. It's a fact, though. All right. So I'm gonna let him explain some more, and then I'm gonna break this down why it's important for us to have a conversation. Remember, he grossed 400. He took home 2. Let's get to it.
Right here. The earnings section breaks down what you made essentially. So I have a P5BW, which the code for that means paragraph 5, which means like your base salary, what you're supposed to make. Now, last year, the team converted my salary into a signing bonus for cap relief. So majority of the money I made was in the form of signing bonus.
So they front loaded his paycheck for signing bonus for cap reasons, right? We're not going to get into NFL, NBA cap reasons, contracts, and all of that, right? But let's remember, his signing bonus that he got this year, that was also taxed, meaning that the game day checks is much different than that one-time big payment signing bonus that he got. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Shout out to you. Jim Rat says he has an $80 million contract. Nope, he really only got a $40 million contract. That's both of theirs. That's the government's and his. Whatever it is that you're making as an athlete or an entertainer, you basically gonna cut it in half. They taking theirs off top. Off top, they taking theirs. Now, there's ways around this, and this is why a lot of these NBA players, these athletes, and these entertainers, they need to get in touch with Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com. Because your adjusted gross income, which is the amount that you wind up paying on taxes. Now, remember, I'm not a tax professional. I'm just a businessman, and I understand how to get to that bag. Remember, the amount that you pay in taxes is not based off of the amount that you gross on your paycheck. It's based off of the amount that is shown on your adjusted gross income, meaning you can have a business. You can have expenses related to those businesses. As long as you don't live based off of your paycheck and adjust your lifestyle to it, then you can start to make adjustments on what it is that you have to pay over into the federal and the state government. But we'll get there, right? Let's continue.
You can see right here with this pay code. That's what I got in the form of signing bonus, and this is what I got in the form of salary, which totals to here. Now you wonder, how do you get from there to there? And the first thing you got to do is look at the tax section. So the tax section breaks down all the taxes that were taken out of your game check before you ever receive it. Sometimes people pay taxes from the money they make, but they take our taxes out beforehand. Now, as you can see right here, you have this med, which is probably a medical tax, so Medicaid or Medi-Cal. You have the federal tax, which you can see is probably the most hefty.
Hold on, let me look at this. Yo, one paycheck, he paid $144,000 in federal taxes. Y'all know where that's going? Over into the migrant crisis in Chicago and New York. One paycheck, $144,000 in federal taxes. For the year, when you start to look at his signing bonus, and the season just started, looked like he paid $1.5 million already in federal taxes alone. Oh my God. Then the state taxes, $41,000 already out of one paycheck in state taxes. Oh my God. He's paid $194,000 out of one paycheck. Listen. I don't look at how much money that you make. I look at how much money you keep. It's a whole nother game. I don't look at how much money you make. I look at how much money you keep. He grossed 400. He took home 198. He grossed 400. He took home 198. The game is rigged for those that don't know how to play the game. We'll get there. Let's continue.
Is $144,000 $100,000. You have your state tax, which is another $40,000, and then that finals up to the total of you pay in taxes, which is $194,000 out of my game check. And then right here, you can see year to date how much taxes I've paid. And then you go down to here, and this is called the payroll deductions section. So payroll deductions are where you pay in your 401k, you pay your union dues to an NFLPA. If I got game tickets for my family, it'll come out of here. Then we can go to the wages amount. You can see the year.
That's pretty much it, right? So they got to have a 401k just like you. Remember Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, Larsa Pippen, who was talking to Michael Jordan's son, right? She got half of his 401k from the NBA. They still are subjected to the same requirements federally and state-wise that you are as far as how much they can put in a 401k, regardless of how short of a career that they have or how long of a career that they have, right? And my point is this, right? When you look at this game check and you look at this bonus and you look at all of this stuff, and shout out to him for showcasing exactly what it is that he's making. I've shown my paycheck. If you want to see what it is that I make per year, go on the Patreon, pull up my W-2s, pull up my paycheck, look at what it is that I got inside of my brokerage account. It's in multiple different videos. A lot of people call me a fool for going back into corporate America. And then when you see what my paycheck is, you're going to be like, I see why you went back there. But see, when I broke my stuff down on the Patreon, I also helped y'all to understand how it is that you can make an adjustment as far as how much money that you paying over to the federal government. Here's the difference. Let's say, for example, throughout the rest of this year, that he winds up making $2 million, $3 million. All right. If he make $3 million, he gonna give 1.5 over into the federal government. That hurts. If he makes $3 million, about 1.5 is gonna go over to taxes. It's gonna go over to the migrants. Biden and them gonna be over there making infrastructure updates. Congress gonna make sure that they get their paycheck. Police, fire, roads and assistance, infrastructure updates, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and they can't even come to a conclusion in Congress as of right now on how it is that they're gonna keep the government open because they're running out of money and they can't come to a budget agreement. Shout out to Congress. They can't do their job, but they're gonna make sure that they take all of the money out of our paychecks. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say, for example, he makes $3 million for the year, right? Now, he really only taking home 1.5. Now, also remember that he's a long-tenured NFL member and he has a decent contract. But in reality, most NFL players have a short lifespan when it comes to the amount of time that they're on the field. So that means that before you even 30 years old, for most of them, before they even 25 years old, they don't even have any job or any way of income outside of what it is that they made during the time that they was in an NFL, which is one of the reasons why within 2, 3, 4 years, the average NFL player is broke within 2, 3, 4, 5 years because A, they got the money during the time when their brain wasn't even fully developed into being an adult. B, they don't have any intangible skills in order to market themselves or continue to get the bag after the NFL. And then C, they got front loaded. And when you see these dudes over in Miami and in LA and on all of these different cities, and they pulling up in the Range and they pulling up in the Benzo and they pulling up in the Cullinan, the Rolls Royce Cullinan and all of this other type of stuff, it's going to be short-lived. It's going to be short-lived. I will tell you this. For most of these NFL players, they won't even come close to what it is that we make, some of us content creators make. They won't even come close to what we make in our lifetime. Not even a little bit. Your average NBA player is watching this show right now trying to understand why Anton is so much richer than them, but they made so much more money than me on the front end of their contract. Thank God that I didn't get a contract because I would have been a fool just like them. Thank God. Not saying that he's a fool, but I'm using this as an example. Thank God I didn't make that type of money when I was 21, 22, 23, and 24 years old. Oh my God, I will be out here looking dusty. I can understand because I was BMFing, blowing money fast, running it up, thinking that it was going to come forever, not really realizing that you one step away from losing it all. And do you have the business acumen and the understanding in order to run it back up? And do you have any intangible skills that add value into people's lives long term? Right? It's real. They got these women that's taxing them for everything that they got. And as soon as they run out of money, these women is no longer going to be there to rock out with them. Why do you think that it is? Y'all thought that these women was with them because they had good personalities? No, they not. Shout out to the super chats. I'm going to be reading those shortly. Y'all thought these women was with them for their good personality? They not. By the time that they hit 30, 31, 32, 33 years old, 99% of them is dusty. Dusty, dusty, dusty. So what does that mean, right? Why is this important for us to have a conversation about on the Millionaire Morning Show? It's not just to have a conversation about taxes. It's to have a conversation about, are you taking advantage, no matter how big or small your shovel is, and no matter how wide of a window that you have, that then determines what success looks like. Are you minimizing your expenses and then making decisions from a business perspective? Remember, doesn't matter how much money come out of your paycheck, you can get that back. The only thing that matters is the amount of money that you keep. If you're making $3 million per year, you need to figure out how to spend $2.99 million of that. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all thought that y'all could save y'all way to success. Most of these dudes is trying to figure out how it is that they cannot go broke by the time that they die. I'm telling you, I know them. I coach them. I see them. I help them to minimize their lifestyle, and it's so hard to get them out of this mindset, not understanding that they're not even going to have no money long term. I'm telling you, a lot of these dudes is tight. They spent it. They had them big old Michael Jordan suits. They was driving in cars with TVs in the back that nobody even care about anymore. They was running it up and tricking it off on holes and getting a bunch of money and throwing it in the strip club, and they had no way to be able to replace that. And they trying to figure out how they not going to run out of money by the end of their lifetime. These dudes that had these 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 million contracts, they dusty. Not all of them, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of them that's dusty. Look, confidentiality is key. For all of you players, y'all need to email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. For all of you entertainers that's running it up and you don't think that the money is going to run out, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough life. Ain't nothing like working at Target with a Super Bowl ring on. Ain't nothing like Anton going on eBay and figuring out what the favorite year that he liked your specific team and him purchasing your eBay ring. Ain't nothing like it. First of all, you need to be keeping the majority of that money because it's your adjusted gross income. It's the amount of money that you wind up having to pay minus the business expenses, and your personal expenses is relate to your retirement and things like that in order to ensure that you continue to run it up for the rest of your life. Listen, you want to live the rest of your life and be rich, or you want to be rich for just a small moment? You want to YOLO, blow money fast? You're not Drake. You're not getting Drake money. You can't make that type of money for the rest of your life. You don't have the residual income. They're not going to pay you for your games for the rest of your life. You're going to be sitting there inside of the NFL arena doing a picture photo op for the team because they're trying to give you a job because they don't want you to look dusty and then embarrass the franchise as a result of you going broke. It's not a lot of money. I know it looked like it, but it's not a lot of money. That right there, that he's showing us, that $198,000 after taxes, right? For most of y'all might make 1, 2, 3, 4. You might even get a $15 million contract. It's not a lot of money for you to live the rest of your life on. It's not. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me go ahead and read these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Shout out to all of y'all out here in these streets, man. Blue Chip G is in the building, says, what up, Anton? Shout out to the Chasers. I appreciate you, Blue Chip G. Persevere Data TV is in the building, says, the After Hours Tour. That's a heck of a name. Because that was the original name of this channel. It was called After Hours. We might have to do the After Hours Tour. Shout out to Persevere Data TV. Shout out to Persevere Data TV. Let me continue. Yvette Marie says, I can't wait to see you and Rita again, big bro. I always was tapping in with Yvette. I love Yvette. And shout out to your husband. Shout out to your husband. Yvette, such a beautiful soul. I love you, baby girl. Wyatt B. 856 says, it's a silent war. It's a globalized effort to take down America within. And China realizes they can do it without firing a single bullet. And it starts and ends with our culture and education on how it is that you people need to level up by leveraging your resources in order to make way more money and live for the rest of your life. King James, 93 says love. I appreciate you, King James. Thank you for holding me down. We got a few big dogs in here out here making it rain like I'm a stripper in a strip club. Shout out to HLC Jr. in the building. Says Philly is my town and it is an absolute disappointment / embarrassment what our young community has done again without reasonable thought and just being evil. They even do it to black businesses. Shaking my head. It shouldn't be done. It's unfortunate, but we about to go there right now, right after these super chats. Fa Brown is in the building, says, yo, Anton, NFL players are paid weekly their salary for that year's 18-game schedule. Plus $45,000 for the playoffs, $70,000 for a conference championship, $100,000 for a Super Bowl. Also, they deduct any tickets that you give out to your family and friends. Thank you, Fa Brown, for giving me that insight and understanding because I didn't even know all of that. Persevere Dating TV is in the building and says, watch the series Ballers on Netflix. It'll give you a sense of how these players screw up the bag. And Any Given Sunday. Watch Any Given Sunday, too. That's a really good one. Fa Brown came back through. Also, they have to live off of that 18 weeks of checks for the entire year because there are no off-season game checks. Unfortunately, many of them are extremely bad with money. 78% of NFL players are broke within 2 years of retirement. 78%. 78% are broke within 2 years of retirement. Fa Brown told y'all, and he educated y'all. Percy Brown says, you're preaching, brother Anton. I work the fire department here in the Bay Area. We have a bunch of ex-NFL players that work here. They come and get government jobs. I'm trying to tell you, they be so happy that they not noticeable and that they was wearing a helmet during their years so that nobody noticed them. The only reason that we notice them is they be 300 and 400 fucking pounds. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me for cussing, my bad. God forgive me. Shout out to the church and the daycare that still got me on the TV, even though you forgive me. It's a fact. Percy Brown is telling you right now. Listen, there are athletes that tap in and DM me all the time. Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all need to come and get a coaching call in real life. In real life. Athletes tap in all the time. Sometimes they be prideful. What up, Anton? I rock with you, man. I like your message. I'd love to get up with you, big dog. Get up with me then. Your agent not looking out for you. The team ain't looking out for you. The doctors ain't looking out for you, and your financial advisors is wiping you clean. You need to get up with somebody that already got a bag to help you understand how you can keep the bag. You know what I'm saying? And don't tap in with your homeboy from Compton. He can't help you with his little car wash idea and his little restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Percy Brown for giving us that insight. I appreciate you. P. Shank is in the building, said, good morning, Anton. Good morning, P. Shank. Oh, my God. I got a big dog in the building. Hold on. Let me give it a little bit. Rita. Them Ritas be coming with the bag, don't they? Them Ritas be coming with the bag, don't they? Shout out to Rita Cameron. I love you. Shout out to she's my queen to be. Shout out to Rita Cameron in the building. If y'all know where that's from, don't worry about it. You'll catch it later. When you see it on the movie, she's my queen to be. Shout out to Rita Cameron in the building. I appreciate you, baby girl. Thank you for dropping that into the collection plate. You are the greatest of all time. Shout out to my audience members. Shout out to over 1,900 people in here right now. Make sure y'all get the likes up, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's go ahead and get over into Philly. Philly. I got to put the Teej pack up for this one. Shout out to Teej Hanley for sponsoring this portion of the show. What up, Philly? What up, Philly? Yeah, coming to America. She's my queen to be. Bark like a dog. Stand on one leg. Bark like a big dog. Woof, 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 woof. Shout out to my coming to America. The first Coming to America, not the second one, the first one. Shout out to the first Philly, what is going on over in Philly? What y'all got going over in Philly? Is it a demon over there? Shout out to Kwame Brown in the building. Shout out to Kwame Brown in the building. Aaron, I'm going to read that shortly. Yo, what the hell is happening in Philly? Y'all decided that y'all just no longer wanted the city? Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Chicago may be the most corrupt city, but Philly may be the most desperate city. Y'all used to be known for cheesecakes. Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? You used to be known for the Roots festivals. All of that good stuff. Philly, what is going on out here in these streets? What happened? What happened, Philly?
I don't see it.
Look, even Siri is mad at what's going on out here in these streets. What happened, Philly? What's the name of the demon that came over to Philly and took over everything? Y'all gave y'all city over into the worst of us. The drug dealers is happy, but the residents aren't. The drug dealers is happy, but the resident. What the hell happened over in Philly? Let's find out what's going on. Listen, it ain't even nothing to this is the weird part about Philly right now. It ain't even nothing to protest. You know how y'all had the whole pandemic protest or, eat the rich and all of this other type of stuff. Ain't even nothing to protest over in Philly. Y'all just over there just tearing up stuff for the sake of tearing it up. Y'all not even a sanctuary city. You know what Philly is now known for? Kensington Avenue, where they got that fentanyl shot with that horse tranquilizer. And rats. And rats. And Beanie Siegel. And Beanie Siegel. Will Smith got slapped out of Philly. Cheesesteaks is no longer a thing. Huh? No brotherly love in Philly. Y'all telling me I can't come to Philly? I can't do a tour and make a stop in Philly because it's too reckless over there? Let me give y'all an idea of what was going on over in Philly. While we was asleep and while we was preparing ourselves for work in the Millionaire Morning Show this morning, this is what was happening in Philly.
The night of looting in the city of Philadelphia continued into the early morning hours.
Police were busy responding to retail theft and break-ins from West Philadelphia to Northeast Philadelphia.
The chaos started in Center City last night when a large group of juveniles began looting store after store. Then a caravan of people started riding around the city, targeting more spots. Police began pursuing one group and were able to stop them at Sellers and Oakland Streets in the Frankford neighborhood.
Overall, more than a dozen people were arrested, but interim Philadelphia Police Commissioner John Stanford was clear to point out the lawlessness is not related to an earlier peaceful protest. Those demonstrators who took to Center City streets were protesting a judge's decision yesterday. In that case, she dismissed all charges against former Philadelphia police officer Mark Dial in the deadly shooting of Eddie Irizarry.
We have team coverage of the events. Action News reporter Corey Davis has more on the drop charges for the former police officer.
But we're going to start with Action News reporter Catherine Scott live in Center City with what the new police chief called criminal opportunists. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, guys. And at this point, we don't know how many businesses in all were hit, but there was a heavy police presence in Center City overnight. We're over by the Apple Store, which was one of the locations that looters targeted. Numerous devices were taken. Witnesses found themselves in the middle of it.
We just saw a bunch of people, just go into the Lululemon.
Hold on. Wait. Fellas. Y'all was over there looting Lululemon? And y'all was taking dummy phones out of Apple. Y'all was tearing up and destroying businesses within y'all own city. Don't y'all know that these businesses will leave? Don't you know the grocery stores will leave? Don't you know that it erodes your tax base? You don't care. Y'all don't know where y'all kids at? On a Tuesday night, you didn't know where Man was. He was over there at Lululemon stealing pants so he can go down to Atlanta. You didn't know that Man was on that other side? You didn't know Man was stealing Lululemon pants so he can go down to Atlanta, did you? Nah? Did you check Man's drawers lately to see if he got any illicit gains or things that he could not afford inside of his drawer that he gonna be putting on so he can go down to Atlanta? Is this what you want? You didn't check Man's drawer, huh? So he got the new iPhone 15 before it came out with the titanium size and some Lululemon girl shorts, and you think that it's cool. You didn't know where he was that night, huh? This is all young people. Listen, these are young black people. I was watching it as I was driving home from the studio yesterday in order to get into the bed early so I can get up early and get over here, over to the Millionaire Morning Show, into the studio. And I seen all black people. Are we going to call it what it is, or are we going to sit here and play games and acting like this is just a large gathering? Look at this snow bunny over here. Look at this snow hare. She's a little older. You know this woman is a barista in her earlier years. Now she's probably an artist, or she does pottery and she sells it on Etsy. Why y'all bothering this snow hare over here? Did I profile her or did I profile her? What is she doing at night? She's getting home from doing paint and sips, right? She was doing the pottery class. She's walking home. She see you guys looting the Lululemon and she gets scared, and now she's talking to 6 ABC in Philadelphia. Why y'all bothering this snow hare? Huh? You think you're going to ruin the neighborhood and they just going to come back? You think that that's what it is? Huh? This woman did her time as a barista, worked her job, leveled up, went to Starbucks, got her liberal arts degree. Now she's in Pottery Barn, and she's probably going to be selling canvases in Michael's in a couple years, right? And y'all over here looting. Y'all over here looting Lululemon, and she's trying to go and get some yoga pants so that she can go work out in the morning. What did you think was going to happen? Huh? Let's continue.
Clothes everywhere.
This is cell phone video. Police making arrests at the Lululemon on Walnut Street. Authorities investigating reports that a caravan of vehicles moved around the city with followers jumping into the lawlessness. Cell phone video shows the chaos. People with arms full of clothing and electronics. You see them hauling them down Center City streets, loading the goods into cars.
Where are they going? They just running down the street with no supervision and no nothing to stop them. They don't care. There's nothing to stop them. This is lawlessness.
The looting started shortly before 8 p.m. 911 calls started coming in about a large group, possibly as many as 100, moving through Center City. Around 8 p.m., cell phone video shows a group of people taking merchandise out of a chest.
Don't sit here in the chat and tell me that every race is out there. I'm looking at them right now. I was watching them live. They was going live on TikTok yesterday. Don't sit there and tell me, no, it was every race. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, y'all not going to get me with that today. Not today, Freaky Jason. Nope. You're not going to get me with it today. They had on essential gear. Come on, man. Y'all know that essential gear is plentiful. It costs a lot. Huh? They had on Jordans. I seen a couple people over there with them black Air Force Ones, white socks, and jean shorts. I knew that they was criminals. You're not going to sit here and finesse me. I'm looking at all black people in this footage and in this thing right now. And they had no shame whatsoever. They was putting their faces on Instagram and TikTok and all of this type of stuff. You're not going to sit here and finesse me. Nope. Wasn't no agenda. Oh man, it's really white people that's posing as black people and they got on blackface under their mask. Ain't no masks. Where's Black Lives Matters? Where's Biden? Cam, National Guard, anybody, everybody, stop it for us.
Chestnut Street Foot Locker.
Look at them.
Juveniles got away, but police say at least one adult was arrested. Within 15 minutes, more looting reported, this time at Lululemon. You can see the piles of clothing on the floor. Around 8:15, the Apple store on Walnut was hit. Phones and tablets taken, though police say some of the goods have since been recovered. By 9:10, police locked down multiple blocks of Chestnut and Walnut. As of midnight, police say at least 15 to 20 people were arrested. 2 weapons were recovered, and 1 police vehicle sustained damage. Police say the looting had nothing to do with the earlier peaceful protests after a judge dismissed charges against a police officer.
Look at that. Police officer came through on his bicycle, got his helmet on. They trying to figure out what's going on. And this is what y'all do. Y'all destroy your own stores in your own city that's providing you with the jobs and the opportunities to continue to level up.
Who fatally shot Eddie Irizarry.
It's disrespectful to the Irizarry family and what they're going through right now, and they were at the protests earlier. They've certainly communicated in all of their social media and media appearances about wanting answers, wanting justice, but also wanting it to be peaceful. And these criminal opportunists just took advantage of us tonight.
To see what our city went through in 2020 and to have.
See the new commissioner? Now y'all know why the old commissioner, she decided to retire and go over there to New York and work on the docks. Now you see why she don't want to be bothered, because she don't want to be sitting up, getting up in the middle of the night, making press conference runs. Now you got John Stanford over there for the Philadelphia Police interim commissioner making statements because he's trying to wrangle in all of these people that don't have any home supervision, that's over here stealing from folks. If you want to go and catch some black people that's stealing, let me tell you something. First thing you go over to is Champs, Foot Locker, JD Sports. Go to the Apple store, just set some bear traps and you'll see them getting caught. Just like mouse traps. Set some bear traps over at Foot Locker. Oh man, they looting. What stores they gonna hit first? Well, we definitely know you're not gonna go to the vegetable section in the grocery store. You're certainly not gonna go and tear up the library. Of all of the looting that we see happening over in Philadelphia, you know what didn't get taken? You know what didn't get taken? The library books. The bookstore is unscathed. The bookstore is literally right next to the Apple store, and they skipped right on over that. They went Apple, Lululemon, JD Sports. We know that you just hide it in a book and ain't nobody gonna touch it. Bookstore, unscathed. Apple, Lululemon, Best Buy. Let me go get a TV that don't even fit into the back of the car. It's gonna be cracked by the time you get home. The bookstore was right next to it. Nobody touched it. Nobody went to the holistic health center to see if they had any money and cash in there or to go and get a colonic. They go over there and tear up your local Walmart or Target. The toothpaste section, completely untouched. We know that you ain't trying to brush your teeth by the time you get home. Soap, plenty of it. Toothpaste, yep. Paper towel, plenty. Toilet paper, oh man, and we already know that the wet wipes ain't gonna be touched. Y'all don't believe in using wet wipes. Y'all don't believe in using, listen, if they steal a tablet, we know that they're not going to steal a Kindle. They just going to go and get the iPad. They're not trying to go and order no books. Audibles, forget about it. Forget about it. They need to stop putting iPads in schools and start putting Kindles in there. You ain't got to worry about it. Everything is going to be safe. Everything is going to be safe. Listen, I suggest that we start building schools to look like prisons. No windows, 24-hour lockdown, shoe program. That way, when they go and they hit their head against the wall, they just get knocked out and just fall over. Yo, I went into a school when I was doing my urban exploration days, and they had a padded room just like the Crazies. Honest to God, on my father's grave. They had a padded room just like the Crazies inside of the school. They would put the kids that was too bad apparently. They would put them in that padded room, and they can go in there and do all of this. All they want. You can go in there and you can throw yourself against the wall until your heart is content. By the time that you got out of that room, you're going to feel like you got a whooping, then you're going to be paying attention in the front of the class. I think we should have punishments. I think that we need to reinstate getting that paddle in that padded room, let them throw themselves out so that when they get out, they tired, and then you just throw it against their backside. I'll fix your kid. I could fix your kid for you. I'm going to stop all of this stealing. We going to nip it in the bud. Mom, they torturing me. Listen, I got something for you. No. See, I'm different. We're going to stop all of this foolishness right here, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. I don't know. All of this talking, negotiating, you keep playing video games while I'm telling you to shut the hell up and get your room clean. Okay. You want to keep talking? My mama used to walk into the room like this. So I thought I told y'all to clean y'all room, huh? We don't even talk back. We just start crying. I ain't even hit you yet. I ain't even hit you yet. What you crying for? Mama. Didn't I tell you to get that motherfucking room clean? I'm dying. And then if you was real smart, if you thought that you was real smart as a young person, you just fall out. Now, you only got like 3 licks before you revive yourself because you know that you're not really falling out, but you want to convince your mother that you did. And she still be like, I told you to get your butt up full of the devil. Kept us from stealing. Kept us from stealing, didn't it? No more stealing in the Apple store. Get your butt. No, y'all want to go and reward them with more games. You want to give them your credit card number in order for them to be over there scamming and stealing so they can figure out how to take some more stuff. Didn't I tell you to get your butt in school and pay attention? Spare the rod, spoil the child. Y'all done got too far removed from what you supposed to be doing on a daily basis. Spare the rod, spoil the child. That's what the Bible say. That's what the rod of correction do. It give you all of your good senses back. We sitting here trying to figure out how to have therapy. And how are we going to have a conversation with them? And we need to convince them differently. And the minute that you walk away, they back on their iPhone like, ha, that little stupid hoe. Calling you a hoe behind your back. Let's take them to therapy. Let's reason with them. Boy, you keep reasoning with these kids at the rate that y'all going. I'm telling you, by the time that you 88 years old and you got Alzheimer's, they're going to be pinching you in your sleep. You just going to be sitting there getting pinched in your sleep by this person that want to take out their frustrations on you because they never saw for them ugly demons that was in their life because you was so afraid to be their parent instead of being, you was their friend. You wanted to be their parent. Or you wanted to be their friend. You didn't want to be their parent. You want somebody to make you feel good. You was creating son husbands and monsters. Get some control in your household. Stop having all of these kids that you can't feed. All of these different men that's coming in and out of your household and paying you $40 for whatever it is that they getting out of you. What we doing? Sitting here playing games with y'all. Man, I look at my daughter the wrong way. She'd be like, I told my daughter the other day, I said, what you think, you white? I'm old school. Listen, I think I was born in the wrong era because I got a whole nother way in which I parent my child. It's a whole nother way in which I parent my child. I look over it. If you can't look at your chick and she straighten up immediately, if you can't look at your daughter, you can't look at your son and you just give him that look like, if he not afraid that daddy is going to come home and see his report card and he just feeling comfortable, they see he's still playing video games by the time that you get home trying to cope. Keep putting these kids on medication. I got some medication for that black ass of yours. I got some medication for you. I got the remedy. I got the remedy for you. And I bet you're not going to die. I bet you're going to be straight up. You might hurt a little bit when you get back to school in the morning. You might be a little bit embarrassed, but that's okay. I want your friends to know that you got to, listen, it wasn't nothing for you to go to school. Your friends knew you got a whooping when you went back to school. They knew your mama was going to come up there and kick. Your mama came up there, and if she had to call off of work in order to miss a half a day's of work in order to sit here and deal with your pink slip, you getting it. You getting it when you know you. I can't believe you little. So you want to act up, huh? Y'all right outside of the classroom. All of your friends can hear her, and she know that your friends can hear you, and she talking to you right outside of the classroom, and the teacher is giggling. So you want to act up, huh? So this is what's happening? I got to come all the way up here. I got to call off of work. My job is on me. You know that I got to take care of business. We feed you. We talk to you every day. We sit here and have a conversation with you every day. And your daddy over there working all of these hours, and he bought you all of this stuff for Christmas, and you think that you're going to come here and you're going to embarrass us? You're going to embarrass us, huh? acting like you ain't got no home training. That was it. That was it. It's over. It's over. We don't have a crime problem. We have a parenting problem. We don't have a crime problem. We have a parenting problem. And nobody actually wants to be honest and address the issues because we're so busy trying to be our kids' friends instead of being their parents. Let me read some of these super chats and then I told y'all it was going to be a crazy week. Philly, you got a parenting problem. You don't have a crime problem. You got a parenting problem. We going to get there today. I promise you. I told you it was going to be a different type of show. If y'all haven't hit a like for the algorithm and sent this to your friends and family and join the Patreon, I don't know what you're waiting for. Let me go ahead and get some of these super chats rocking. Shout out to Aaron. He says, Kwame Brown shouted you out. Shout out to my dog, Kwame Brown over there. Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Make sure y'all tap in with him and say, Anton said, what up, though? Detroit is in the building. Shout out to my dog, Kwame Brown. Carolina's own DJ K Smooth in the building says, Grand Rising and great morning, Anton Bag Chasers and beloved. A fool and their money is surely depart from one another. Thanks for dropping the jewels once again. I hope that everyone wise enough to pick them up. In the building, DJ K Smooth. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. Food, fashion, women, and sports. In that order. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Says, my Lyft driver was saying he didn't think Joe Burrows deserved a $300 million deal. What's $300 million to Joe Burrow? You know what I'm saying? Aaron says, they out there stealing Jordan heels and leggings. Ain't going to be wearing them to school tomorrow and getting arrested. Shout out to my dog, Julian Rooks. In the building says, Nicklets, running wild. Running wild. Shout out to Julian Rooks in the building. Lawrence Arnell says, AD, I'm a detective in Philly. Oh, Lawrence, you're going to have to give me that. You're going to have to call in one day. Send me that email, fam. I'm working overtime right now behind this foolishness. Tag me in if you want to get in depth on this one. Hey, email me, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. I got to know what's going on. Lawrence, send me that email. I'm definitely going to make sure that I get your insight, my friend. Shout out to you. Also, Chris Sean Humphreys is in the building. What up, though? I appreciate you, Chris Sean, for coming through and dropping that in the collection plate. My dog, Persevere Daily TV, is here. He back. He says, it was the third grade. My dad found out I was fighting in school. I wasn't able to sit the next day, but I was able to pay attention. Funny how that works. All of that ADHD go out the window. Y'all ain't got to get these kids no Ritalin. We ain't got to worry about none of that. We just going to continue to run it up. Don't worry about it. Let's see what's happening over here in all of these rest of these liberal cities because it ain't just Philadelphia. No, we got demons everywhere. I'm leaving this belt behind my neck for the rest of the show. Listen. Let me tell you something. Y'all see all of this alphabet community and everybody going this way and that way and they don't know which bathroom they go into? Y'all see all of this looting and stealing and nobody knows who they are anymore and I'm just so broken. Oh my God, let me do a TikTok and talk about how inflation is killing me. You see all of this crying and whining and this femininity. You see all of these women having these children out of wedlock. You know how you could have solved for 99.9% of all of these problems? This right here. I know you don't believe in it. I know that you was raised to be so liberal and you can just talk back to your parents and you thought that you was white. I'm trying to tell you, the way that you solve for 99.9% of these problems is that you ask questions later, but you solve for it with the rod of correction. Y'all are so weak. You don't even know what it is that you was missing out on because you neglected to give your child a little bit of correction. You don't even know where your child is. You don't know if they're in school or if they're out there hanging out with their friends. See, I'm old school. I'm different. I know I'm 41 years old, but I feel like I was born in the 50s and the 40s. Because I come from an era, and I'm from an era where you had to be accountable for what it is that you did even when you were a child, and you were allowed to fail in a controlled environment and then be corrected so that they don't have to pick you up out of the precinct when you become an adult, because ain't nobody got no bail money for you. That's what my parents said right away. They said, listen, I don't know who you think you are, but first you're going to get this belt, and then I'm going to explain to you that when you get older, and this hurts me more than it hurts you, the reason why I'm going to give this to you now is because this is my payment. This is your bail money. That's what my father told me. He said, listen, my father gave me one whooping in my entire life. My mama was kicking ass and taking names. My father said, listen, this is your bail money right here. We gonna solve for everything that you got going on in your life with this right here. I'm not coming to get you out of jail. I'm not bailing you out. We not putting the house up for you. You gonna have to make sure that you don't get arrested because nobody is coming to save you. This is your correction. I'm gonna give you your payment right now. And it just went up from there. Then we was in Bible study. We was busy. We was playing basketball and then Bible study. Basketball, Bible study. Basketball, Bible study. So the little bit of trouble that you wind up getting into, when you seen people going over there and they was doing stuff in high school and dudes were starting to go and smoke trees and they was, going to bust chicks down, man, we was like, listen, I skip a little bit of school, but I'm not going over to y'all with the drug-infested house because my daddy said he ain't coming to get me. But y'all wanted to test the waters. And now look, it's a food desert. You can't go get no pillows. You can't get no M&Ms, no Kit Kats, no Twix, no Nestle Crunch. Nothing. You can't go to Target no more. All you got in your neighborhood is dollar stores now. Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, dollar. Everything in your household comes straight from Dollar Tree and Dollar General. The rug, the toys, everything. You know why? Because you don't have no stores no more in your neighborhood. They burned up AutoZone, so you can't fix your car. You can't go to the dealership. Anywhere you go, you got to go and give money over into another community, and then you got to go home. Listen, come over here, buy your car, take your ass home, and you can't stay here. This is what's happening in your communities. They're taking your money, and then you want to sit here and have a conversation with me about where the black dollar ain't circulating. It ain't circulating because it can't go nowhere. Where you think that it's going to go? Where you think the black dollar going to go? Ain't nowhere to send it. You ain't got nothing but fast food restaurants in your hood. You can't even go in there and sit down anymore because now they only got a drive-through. You ain't got a car to go and get it, so you got to go and steal somebody's bike in order to ride through the drive-through because they ain't going to serve you without at least two wheels of transportation. What did you think was going to happen? You burned up your stores. You can't fix your cars. You can't buy no food. Anywhere you go, you got to go and buy your groceries from the corner store, right? They go over to Sam's Club because Sam's Club is way out in the boondocks. They bring all of the supplies over into the store. They mark it up by 400%, and you getting the old stuff. So anything you get is nutritious. It's old. It's expired. But you gotta eat. You gotta eat. You didn't like this harsh talk that I'm giving you today? You don't like what it is that I'm saying today? Is this bothersome to you? Is this triggering? Is this bothering you today? Huh? Oh my God, Anton is triggering me today. Oh my God, I got so many family traumas. I need to go back to my therapist, like Charlamagne said, in order to fix all of the things that happened in my past. We leaving this belt right here.
Welcome back, everybody. Target says that it will close 9 stores in major cities across the country, citing violence, theft, and organized retail crime. It's going to be closing 1 store in New York City's Harlem neighborhood, 2 locations in Seattle, 3 stores in San Francisco and the Oakland area, and 3.
Let's hold on. Look. Check it out. Look where they closing all of the stores at, y'all. Look. Check it out. They got it on the map for y'all. Everything that voted blue, we closing it. New York, Houston, LA, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. Remember when y'all all left Atlanta and y'all wanted to move down to Houston? Now y'all ain't got no Tarjay no more. Everything that's blue, even in the red places, the one place that was blue, they said, we getting up out of here, man. We can't just keep dealing with this. Everywhere that's blue. Hold on, I want to let her name how many stores in each place.
2 locations in Seattle. It's going to be closing 1 store in New York City's Harlem neighborhood, 2 locations in Seattle, 3 stores in San Francisco and the Oakland area, and 3 more in Portland, Oregon. What does this all have in common? Yeah, places where they have seen organized crime and places where you don't get prosecuted to the full extent of the law. DAs.
What? You can go in there and take whatever you wanted, and you thought that they was just going to keep on stocking up the shelves for you to come in and get your deodorant, your drinks, your Annihilators, your Kit Kats, your Hoo-Hoos. You keep stealing wine and liquor and leaving all of the water bottles on the shelf. They ain't stealing water. They stealing wine and liquor.
Look the other way. Target said we cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance. The company went on to say that before they made the decision, they invested heavily in strategies to try and prevent and stop theft. Things like adding more security team members, using third-party guard services, implementing theft deterrent tools across the business. Now, the CFO said back in May that they believe that theft and shrinkage is what they call it, theft and shrinkage would be $500 million worse this year than last year. $500 million.
They didn't say it was going to be $500 million. They said it's going to be $500 million worse on top of what it was last year. The only reason that people wasn't stealing in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, don't y'all know that Target had its best years during the pandemic? Walmart, Kroger, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. Don't you see all of these places is closing up business now? You know what happened? They opened up the doors for you to walk back in and do whatever it is that you wanted to do. They put armed guards and you circumvented the process. They put security guard, theft deterrent devices. They put up bigger turnstiles and every single thing. And you know what? Stuff was still walking into the front door and out of the back door. Where they at, though? Where they at, though? Your kids, your adults, the mama and the daughter is in there stealing at the same time. And they stole to the tune of $500 million more than they had in the year before.
Additionally lost to theft and other issues like this. Shares of Target are down more than 25% year to date. But
organized crime doesn't. It just has a connotation of, you see like the guys over in Brooklyn hanging out at the social club or something. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mobs that the cops are so many that the cops are overwhelmed and the employees are overwhelmed.
You see him? No. I'm sorry, sir. Brandon Johnson said these are not mobs. No, hold on, let me give him my Brandon Johnson. These are not mobs. These are large gatherings. And so what we need to do over here in Chicago is we need to make sure that we're servicing our youth, that we're being there for them at the picnics, that we're adding value into their lives by talking to them on the street corner. And we're not, I repeat, we are not going to demonize our large gatherings with young people that are walking around with hoodies on and saggy pants and black Air Force Ones, and then the rest of them have on blue jean shorts and white socks with their black Air Force Ones. We're not going to demonize these people just because they stole over $1 million worth of things over the last year, and they beat up that man inside of the alley that was walking down the street in broad daylight with his pizza, and they hit him in the front of the head with the gun, and they went over there and they robbed the DePaul students over there in Chicago. We are not, I repeat, I will not have it. I will not have it. We will not demonize these people that don't have a father or a mother in the house, and they stealing their grandmother's Social Security check. And they're following Bandman Kebo in order to understand how to get trade lines and how to get more scamming going on. We will not demonize these young people. It is the white power system. It is Biden's fault. It is systematic oppression. And it is definitely the fact that we did not get reparations as to the reason why these young people are out here stealing, robbing, and killing, and why we can't get control of O Block. I will not have it. I will not let you demonize our young people. Let me take you over into a different city and show you exactly what that impact is over in Harlem, ladies and gentlemen.
Target announced that it will close 9 of its stores, including the one on 117th Street in Harlem. The stores will shutter for good on October 21st.
And as Fox 5's Arthur Chan reports, Target's blaming the closures on ongoing problems with theft and violence.
I just come out of there. I got me some eggs, some bananas, some avocados.
Anthony uses it for his groceries, and David is here for a birthday present.
I just bought a little something for my son, whose birthday is today.
Countless residents in East Harlem rely on this Target on East 117th Street, but now Target says it's closing this store in a matter of weeks, citing rampant shoplifting that threatens the safety of employees and customers.
They come here, they steal, and I told them they're hurting the neighborhood.
This woman has worked at this Target location since it opened in 2010. She asked not to be identified, but shared with us her frustration with shoplifters who often come in mobs emptying shelves.
They thought they was being smart and everything, running in, running out. Just disrespectful to this store.
You see how passionate these people are about their neighborhoods? The ones that really care? You see how passionate these people are about their neighborhoods and their stores? And the fact that she's worked there since it's opened in 2010, she take pride in the fact that this is a place that she can come and then get a paycheck and exchange her time for money. And she likes the fact that she can shop there and get her discount and go and pick up her light bulbs on her way going home from work. And she got to stand here and dealing with y'all little. I feel her pain. I feel the same way because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Listen, when I have to go outside, and I ain't never been to jail in my entire life, and when I got to go outside, right, and I'm looked at a certain way and I have to overextend myself to be friendly and to dress appropriately and to speak proper English in order to be able to lower the threat level that somebody may feel as a result of they just seeing your son out there and your nephew out there and your uncle out there is fighting, stealing, killing, and running in these stores and mobbing up and stealing everything that they can find get their hands on. It's unfortunate because I can't even feel bad because you then made me look bad as a result of your behavior, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and this is why I still got this belt around my neck, because we're going to have some straightening going on here. And by the time that you get home, listen, it's somebody that's watching this right now whose son is about to go over to Walmart, Louis Vuitton, all of the stores. They plotting, they stealing, they about to do some crime, and they about to do something that they not supposed to do. And you know your kids. You know your kids. You know your children. You know what they into. You know what they about to get into. You know what's happening. You know the spirit of your kid. Y'all knew the minute that they was born, okay, this one is dark. This one has got a dark heart, and this one got a light heart. They was twins, but that one was, you knew that you had to get the rod of correction in order to drive that far from thee. He needed all of the prayer and all of the help and all of the fatherly love and all of the everything that he could possibly get in order for you to save his life. And you decided that you still wanted to just be his friend. Then now they over here robbing Target, and Target is closing.
You understand what I'm saying? They just disrespected the store to the tires. Now there's not going to be no more Target. Now what they're going to do? Now what's going to happen to this neighborhood?
Surveillance videos like these routinely show brazen levels of criminal activity.
Look at them.
Shoplifting on a large scale has become a national crisis, costing retailers over $112 billion in losses last year, according to a National Retail Federation survey. Target's East Harlem store is one of 9 locations. It's closing nationwide, all for the same reason. Other locations include San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle.
We may see other stores closing locations too, specifically in those big metro areas where, you know, the cost of rent is high. So it's really making a bigger impact on those stores.
Wait. So what you saying, my snow hair that's on this live stream right here, my good, beautiful brown shirt, blonde hair, snow hair. Omar Johnson like to call them snow bunnies, but I know that once they reach a certain age, they become snow hairs. Okay. Snow puppies is the guys that Umar Johnson calls, but once they get a little bit older, they become snow dogs. You know what I'm saying? So what you saying, my little snow hair, is that they continue to drive up their own inflation by then having things cost more or being more difficult for them to secure goods and services because Shipped don't want to come into their neighborhood and DoorDash won't deliver and they have a food desert and they got to go out of their way and spend way more money to get the same service and the same goods because they destroyed their own neighborhoods. Say it ain't so. Say this is not the same thing that has been repeated since the 67 riots. I am aware of the repercussions, all as I was growing up in the 90s, of what happened in the 67 riots to our cities. You know why? Because we never recovered from it until the 2010s, 2020s. It took us 50 years for us to start to come back to where it is that we supposed to be. Whole lifetimes, whole generations of people for us to come back to where we are now. You're creating your own inflation in your own neighborhood by tearing up your own stuff. Inflation for you is much higher because it costs you more to be able to do the same things possibly in more time and more resources and more money for you to go out and get the same services as other people. And then you keep talking about people investing in your neighborhoods. I seen a clip where Tiffany Haddish said that she was opening up a grocery store in the hood in Compton. Man, if you don't get on out of here with that, crazy, man.
CVS, the Rite Aids, they're all closing. These guys are shoplifting left and right, and it's horrible.
Not only is there a cost to this neighborhood, but this impacts all of the employees who work at this location. Target says they're going to try to absorb everybody into other Target stores. The residents here have some choice advice for shoplifters.
Get a job.
The lights will go out here permanently on October 21st at the Target in East River Plaza. Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News.
Well, tonight's big story involves a big announcement from Target. The company announced today that it's closing 9 stores in 4 states, including 3 locations in Portland. The reason? Theft and organized retail crime, according to Target. The company says it's worried about the safety of its workers and customers. Here's investigative reporter Kylie Boshi.
Target said enough is enough. The retail giant announced Tuesday it's closing 3 Portland stores, including the downtown Galleria, Southeast Powell, and the Hollywood location in Northeast Portland. In a statement, the company explained, "We cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance." As we've been reporting over the past year, police, prosecutors, and retailers complain shoplifting or organized retail crime is a citywide epidemic, largely fueled by drug addiction. And we've witnessed it.
Largely fueled by the drug epidemic. Come on, man. Stop this nonsense. It's fueled by a lack of rod correction inside of these households. That's what it's fueled by. It's fueled by the idea that you don't have a 2-parent. Y'all keep talking about and arguing with me on these panels all the time when we're talking about relationships. Man, this is why everything is interconnected. You keep arguing with me and talking with me all this time talking about it's okay to be a single mama. Okay, so when you go and when you over your boyfriend's house, what you think he doing? You think he chilling at the crib? Think he having a good time? Think it's cool? Think it's smart? Think he taking care of business? I was very intentional on only having 1 child. And let me tell you, I have one of the sweetest people in the world as a child. I mean, that girl has given me literally 0 problems throughout her lifetime. But it's taken a monstrous effort. Literally, her mother has not worked since she was born because we are very dedicated and we employ and deploy so many resources. Her nickname is $1 Million Baby. You know why? Because we hire, we assist, we persist, we are involved. We at every single meeting, we at every single event, we at every single tournament. We participate with her teachers. We're integrated with what it is she got going on. We know what's happening with her grades. We have a conversation with her every day. We fly her back and forth. We are intimately connected. And we know exactly what's going on. We participate in the school tours. We pick her up from school. We teach her. We're very hands-on. I'm on her every single day. Leslie, why you ain't got your glasses? Where your glasses at? Is your room clean? Hold on, let's go through here. Now, you promised me that you was going to get stuff done and taken care of, but since you didn't fulfill your obligations, now I got to sit here and over. Like, it's a 10 times over full-time job for two people that are successfully married and participating in a household. What do you think is going to happen with you by yourself, opening up your legs to somebody that don't even care about you? You know he wasn't no good. You knew he wasn't going to stick around. You never even married him. You gave him over the box, and then your kid came out with syphilis in their eyes in order for them to continue to... What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in your community? Huh? The number one problem in this country is fatherless households. The number two problem is homelessness. And they're both interconnected.
Criminals literally stealing merchandise off store shelves and walking out the front door with little or no fear of being arrested or prosecuted. Earlier this month, we spoke with one of Portland's most prolific shoplifters. Martin Castaway is serving 7 years in prison.
So what can be done in our community?
Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to move over to the next thing because I want to make sure that I hit every single point. I'm going to hit every single point. Every last point, I'm going to hit it today. All of them. Real Leo's in the building says, facts. The belt cured a lot of kids' ADHD. Y'all paying attention. Now you can see everything clearly. Don't get on a coaching call with me talking about, yeah, man, it's my ADHD. That's why I can't pay attention. Boy, if you don't get off my phone, keep talking about your ADHD. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to a Real Leo. I appreciate you. DeJuan Alford says, what up, though, Anton? Kids got it from the parents. I agree. Daddy was stealing, not a kid is stealing. They can share a cell together. Trey D said the hood about to starve, and it's very depressing. The hood been starving. You know what I'm saying? Serious Black Thought in the building says, when companies leave, they will cry racism. The government might have to subsidize intercommunism, but they won't steal when they're armed guards. It's crazy out here, man. Jamal Ali is in the building, says, go live about the looters, not cops. Weirdos. Facts. We need more supervision. No, you need a strong household. Real Leo was in the building, says, peace, fam. I used to work for loss prevention at Target in New York, and I had to catch pregnant women using their babies to steal with strollers. Shaking my head. Oh, my God. This is crazy. They stealing with the kids, having kids in jail. Harry B. Ortega came through with that foul ball. Thank you, my friend, for just dropping that in the collection plate. Trey D is in the building, says the same hoodlums will vote for Big Mike when she announced her presidential run. Who is Big Mike? You talking about Michelle Obama? Oh, my God. I keep hearing about Michelle Obama. I told y'all we was going to have a woman president sooner or later. I'm telling you, it's going to happen sooner or later. You wow for that one. I got to give you the clap for that one. You wow for that one. Y'all are so crazy. Duncan Fitness in the building says, yo, Anton, I'm working 2 jobs and going back to school to be an industrial engineer. Do you think I should get certified in cybersecurity too? By the way, I'm 24. I think that it depends on how far along you are in your journey. If I were you, I think that you fine as an industrial engineer. But for me, I would be going into cybersecurity. I would be dedicating myself and I would pivot and go directly into cybersecurity. But being an industrial engineer is fine too. But I'm just saying with me, if I had to do it right now based off of what it is that I see the industry going into now, I'm going into cybersecurity all day long. Shout out to Duncan Fitness in the building. I appreciate you. Young Gladiator is in the building. Young Gladiator says, Anton, I have roughly $400 tied up in a stash. Should I sell and use the Fidelity brokerage account offered through my job? Why is the Fidelity brokerage account offered through your job? Are you talking about a 401k? You can go online and open up a brokerage account right now. You can go to Fidelity, send me that check. You can go to fidelity.com and open up a brokerage account right now. You can open up a Roth IRA. You can open up a brokerage account. You can do all of that. Listen, before y'all open up a brokerage account, though, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to go into the Patreon and look at the video of the 8 things that I look for when I'm looking to make an investment into a company. Publicly owned company, investing in a business, it's all the same. You vet the companies out in a specific way because I don't want y'all to just throwing y'all money into the stock market. Then you're going to become a day trader and you're going to get your butt kicked. I want you to make informed decisions on companies that you want to be invested in based off of knowledge earned and then how it is that you need to implement a certain strategy over the next 10 to 15 years, okay? So I do think, and I prefer for people to have brokerage accounts instead of savings accounts, but you have to also do your research. Shout out to you. Let me see. Bernie's book tour is in the building. Says, so they're closing stores in the same cities. They're sending migrants. Imagine what's going to happen next. Oh, they're going to start giving them jobs. They're going to be working at factory jobs. They're going to be working at Amazon jobs. We got a whole new workforce that's coming in. Jason Lee says, on a side note, I'm about to dip from New Jersey, New York area, Anton. I'm getting priced out of the housing market. I don't know what y'all thought that was going to happen. Taxes is high over in New Jersey anyways. Carolina's DJ K Smooth is in the building. Says, willing participants in their own demise, folks don't realize that these crimes are wanted by those who want and know these actions will expedite the closing of physical stores and usher in online sales. Chess over checkers. Shout out to DJ K Smooth. I appreciate you, big dog. We got over 2,500 people in the building. The likes is a little bit low. I'm trying to prevent myself to going over into that Teach Hanley, the new Teach Hanley commercial, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. So I need y'all to hit a like for the algorithm and make sure you subscribe and sharing this with your family and friends. Can we get over into the meat and potatoes of the show? I got a couple more things that I want to share with you guys because now we're about to get to the money. And before we really start to deep dive into the money, because I want to go into U.S. factories and what's coming into your city and why it is that they're starting to build U.S. factories here in the United States of America, before we can get into that, I want to get into the fact that evictions are skyrocketing all across the board. You know why? Two reasons. Let me get my belt out. Two reasons. You know why? The first reason that I'm going to give you has nothing to do with the reason why you're getting evicted. It has everything to do with the reason that you're getting evicted right now. You was already going to get evicted. You know what I'm saying? People already know whether or not they was going to pay their bill before they pay their bill. And the Patreon, you know what? I'm going to do another live stream on real estate, but this time I'm going to go over how it is that you can vet tenants to be able to profile effectively to make sure that you're not getting somebody that's going to tear up your house and then be squatting on a rent moratorium and then getting evicted a little later than they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But that's the first reason, is that the moratorium is up all the way across the board. Remember during the pandemic where y'all thought that y'all was going to live for free forever? You stopped paying your bills. You went and got you a Charger, a Hellcat, a Challenger. Remember that? Remember when you went to dealership and you said, look at them wheels? And they said, listen, the way that your finance is set up, if you look at your credit, we're not necessarily just looking at your credit score. We also looking at the amount of money that you have to pay on your individual bills because it's saying that you got this, you got it. Oh, don't worry about it, fam. Rent moratorium is in. And by the end is not only going to forgive my student loans, but he also going to keep that moratorium popping. Look at them wheels. So you got you a Charger, you got you a Hellcat, and you pulled up on them hoes, and you went and got a BBL in Miami. Yeah, you went and got you a new Nissan Altima, Maxima, if you really getting down on it. Now, if you really get into the bag and you ain't paying your rent, you're going to go and get that 3 Series, man. You know, that BMW. Put a bow tie on it, put the red bow tie on it, kick your foot up in the air, take the pic for the Instagram. Meanwhile, there's some landlord over there trying to figure out how the fuck he going to pay the mortgage because you don't want to pay the rent. And you think you doing him a favor when you give him half the rent. I get the other half when I get done getting my bundles done, when I get my sew-in done. Yeah, I know who you are. See, I'm not that far removed. See, you thought I was disconnected. You thought that I didn't know what the price of milk was. I know what the price of milk is. I know what the price of that government cheese is. I know exactly what y'all doing. In y'all household, in y'all hoods, you keep trying to fool us thinking that you moved out the hood. You just ain't paying the rent. Messing up all of the property values. Keep on revving your engine as soon as you come down the street, knowing that you can't even go but 25 miles an hour. Everybody waking up in the middle of the night because you keep on doing your automatic start. Now you're getting evicted. Now we here. Welcome. Moratorium is over. Student loans is back in. Charger, Hellcat, repossessed. Now what you gonna do? Amazon warehouse got you on your third strike. You said you worked in IT, but you was really just a call service agent. And you on a performance improvement plan. I know about your PIP. I put people on them before. I know about your performance improvement plan. You one step away from losing your fucking job, and now you ain't got no way to work. You ain't got nowhere to live, and now you over here looking at your YouTube algorithm is now have van life recommendations. Ain't that crazy? Y'all ever had that? You was talking about something, and the next thing you know, you start seeing ads about it on your phone. Your algorithm then changed. You went from Hellcat to Econoline, 2000 Econoline. You trying to scrape up you keep hiding your car every day so you can get up enough money, and as soon as you get your income tax return, you gonna retrofit that Econoline that you've been paying to and keep on telling them, hey man, don't sell that 2000 Econoline. I'm gonna change it over into van life. Then you get into van life and you hoping that they don't steal your house. Yeah, I know what you're going through. Don't expect me to feel sorry for you. I know that they trying to steal your house. Shout out to my van lifers. Keep acting like they going on an exploration trip. Cold outside. Knowing you can't run the heat all night. Can't park in a closed space because the carbon monoxide gonna get to you. Trying not to get a ticket in the daytime. Got to go and take a shower at the gym in the morning. I know what you going through. The moratorium is up. I warned you. Remember when you hated me for holding you accountable, but it was supposed to be the thing to help you? Don't worry about it. We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Now at 5, renters under pressure. Evictions are starting to rise in the post-pandemic Los Angeles.
Yeah, in fact, thousands of eviction notices have been filed since February. KTLA's Rachel Menitoff is live in Hollywood with the impact. Rachel?
Hey, remember when everybody was driving in G-Wagons and Range Rovers? Where they at, though? Yo, I'm seeing less luxury cars every single day out here in these streets. I travel city to city. Where the Lambos at all of a sudden? Ain't nobody got no Lambo no more? Where the G-Wagons at? I thought y'all was all getting Dodge Demons. No? No more? They all gone? Where did they go? Who picked them up? Where that new Altima you had just last year? And why are you hiding it over Sister Ella Mae's house? Why are you walking 2 miles in order to go and get your car to go to work every day, thinking that the man ain't watching you from a distance? Yeah, I see her. Okay. She left it at Sister Ella Mae's house overnight. All right. I see what's going on. You got to walk 2 miles to go and get your car to go to work because you can't park. You ain't got covered parking. You ain't got no garage. This is what you're dealing with now. Hold on. Don't look at me funny. Don't sit here and try to hold me accountable. I'm not the one that didn't go to work and pay my bills. Remember when y'all was trying to hold me accountable for minimizing my costs and making sure that I didn't have to pay more than I had to, and I was over here going to get extra jobs and taking care of business, and I was already rich, and you was trying to hold me accountable? I can't believe Anton going getting another job. No, remember that? Now I'm a good man, huh? Remember that guy that you was teasing? And you was holding him accountable because he was going to work in the morning and he got 0 strikes on his record. Now all of a sudden he looked like the guy that you want to talk to, don't he? Because the winter is coming. And the moratorium is up. And you ain't got no car. Now all of a sudden that guy that wasn't so pretty to you, the one that you was too good for, now all of a sudden he looking like a come up. Now you want to talk to, hey big head. Where you been at? Yo. If y'all send me another DM, ladies, don't send me another DM talking about, hey. Hey, what? Hey, it's for horses. Hey. And then put an extra Y on the end of it. I'll be looking at my phone like, $40. Nah, I'm just kidding. $37.50, right? $37.50 is the going rate. Stop playing. Look, stop playing. She gonna put stop playing laughing emoji. You know you rich. Keep on wearing that Apple Watch every day. Stop playing. Sending me a DM. Hey. I keep looking at your DM, but because I got a business account, I ain't got to actually show that I read that shit. I seen your DM. I just went ahead and moved it to the side. Boop. Boop. She looking a little dusty now. Price of the brick has gone down, huh? Then I'm going to text her after a couple days. I only got $37.50 and I ain't been to the bank today. Stop playing. You crazy, boy.
MB Pedro, good evening to you both. The highest number of evictions have actually been here in Hollywood, and that's followed closely by Fairfax and Woodland.
I might add comedy to my tour that I got coming up next year. What y'all think? I could listen. In person is going up way more in person. I'm telling you.
Hills, and with COVID era protections gone, the number of renters facing eviction rises every single month. Thousands of Los Angeles residents have been given eviction notices within the last 7 months. A staggering 50,000 tenants to be exact.
Ain't nothing like seeing them red letters on your door and then you try to hurry up and grab it before your neighbors can see it. They know that you're getting evicted. They not stupid. Your neighbors know that you're getting evicted. This ain't new to them. They knew that you was about to get evicted because they was gossiping down there with the property manager and they told them all your business anyway. Stop acting like you surprised. Ain't nobody gonna be surprised. They know you getting your stuff took out.
This from February through the end of August, according to figures released this week by the LA Comptroller's Office, leaving many people in a terrible bind, some for financial reasons, other for different reasons.
Hey, Peaches trying to throw me under the bus. That's all right, Peaches. I got you.
Entirely.
Well, it's the first time in my life where I actually had to, spend the night without a roof over my head, you know?
Oh, so the snow dog just getting evicted also, huh? Listen. You ain't wear glasses all year. Every day we see you running down the street. You got your shirt off. You got your Nike band on. You're exercising. And now you want to put on your blue blockers and you want to button up your shirt on the top lip. Steve. We know his name ain't Steve. His name is not Steve, but Steve is now an evicted renter.
This is Steve. He says he was evicted from the downtown LA home office living space in March. He was subletting after his landlord died and the building refused to let him continue to sublease.
They basically left me on the street with my shorts, t-shirt, and tennis shoes, basically.
Not t-shirt and your panties on. They said they leaving Steve on the streets with his t-shirt and his panties on. Steve got his t-shirt. They said, listen, go and get your black forces, go and get your beeper, and take your t-shirt and your panties. Go and get out on the street, Steve. We ain't got nothing for you. It ain't that they left you out. You ain't had the money to go and make sure that you continue to get the right credit. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I couldn't even go back in to get my toothbrush.
While evictions are occurring throughout the city, this map shows specific neighborhoods and zip codes disproportionately affected. For example, 3,585 eviction notices have been filed in Hollywood, 155 alone at this luxury apartment complex.
155 eviction notices at one complex. 155 at one complex. That's crazy. That's insane. That's out of control.
North Highland Avenue. Other hotspots include Woodland Hills, Westlake, and downtown LA.
With the COVID protections ending for the county on April 1st, then that's how you see that spike in April.
In a majority of cases, tenants owed more than $2,000 in back rent, but some landlords are also trying to evict people for owing much less.
Many tenants are not able to pay their debt because it is hard enough for them to actually pay their rent right now.
Cap, keep on seeing DoorDash appearing at the door, but you ain't got no rent. Why you keep getting DoorDash? Why you keep going out every day and you keep getting doggy bags every day? Huh? That's cap. I seen you out here having a good time. You was partying it up. You got your PPP loans. You was having a good time. You had your stimulus check. You pay your car note every day. I see that nice car outside every day, but I keep making an adjustment and making a sacrifice and living the way that I'm supposed to live. And you out here having a good time, and now you want to sit here and run in the Victim Olympics and tell me how you can't pay your rent. No. We gonna go ahead and get your things, get your stuff, get your bags. Anything that fit in that garbage bag can go, but everything else stays here. It's mine.
Let alone go back and pay, the average, I think, is like about $4,000.
In response to what many people feel is a housing crisis, the city launched an emergency rental assistance program, which is accepting applications through October 2nd.
This is where all of the NFL players' taxes is going through. It's going to tax assistance. Oh, no, hold on. Don't tell me that you got kicked out. I can already spot it. I know where this interview is going.
Nikiso Peralto is a musician in Hollywood. He says it's often really hard to keep up with the rising rates. How do you deal with the high rent?
Get roommates. One time I had like 4 people in my 1-bedroom apartment.
Listen, fam, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go get a J, a O, and a B. Stop standing on the street playing music and thinking that we supposed to pay your rent for you. Stop standing on the street playing music, thinking that you a hippie, and think that we going to continue to pay your rent for you. You a Hollywood musician. What the man, if you don't go get a job, Amazon is hiring every single day. Tesla has an egregious amount of jobs at their factory for you to go and sign up for. They building Giga Texas. You can move over to Texas. They got the Giga factory out there in California, right? It's plenty of jobs that's available, but that's all right. We're going to replace y'all.
Yeah.
This report has another important finding I want to share with you. There's something called the Just Cause Ordinance, and it means that
we don't give information to people to help them save themselves from themselves. They're going to have to figure that out on their own. We not giving out no information for you to be able to stay there. We want you gone. We filed the eviction notice because we don't want you on our property anymore. We not giving out no information. Thank you, ma'am, but that's all we got. Let's move over into a different part of the country because we don't want to give information for people to help themselves. We went over there and we talked to the white people, the snow hares and the snow bunnies. Now we want to come over here and talk to the ladies. Shout out to my ladies. It's about to get cold outside.
New now at 6:30, our 8 News Now investigators step inside eviction court as the number of evictions continue to rise. This after a program that stopped evictions with a pending rental assistance application recently expired.
So the legislature gave $100 million to a homeless program, but that doesn't help people.
So they just threw money at the wall. Legislation gave 100. Yo, the way that they just spend money, the way that they spend our money is crazy. The way that they spend our money is crazy. They just give $100 million that they know is not going to do anything for anybody, and they just dish it out like it's nothing. You getting $200,000 taken out of every single paycheck that you got, you NFL players over there in California, and they just dish out y'all money and just throw it against the wall and don't even mean anything.
Before they're actually evicted. 8 News Now investigator Kyle Payne joining us with
reading
more
the super chat shortly. Shout out to E.
Denise, since the start of COVID, landlords have had a lot of trouble getting rid of tenants who don't pay. But over the last few weeks, that's changed.
Did you feel like you got lucky today?
Yes, I did.
It was 25-year-old Imani Robinson's lucky day.
And that there was a default sometime between April and May.
Months behind in her rent and late to her hearing, Robinson was at the...
No. Hold on, man. You're not going to be months with an S. Not a month, but months. I bet you she had paid to get her hair done before it started expiring on her. Listen. You are 25, you're able-bodied, you got on Yeezys, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you went and got your hair did, and you months behind on your rent, ma'am. I need my money now, or I need you out of my property. And you're going to be late. You're going to be late to your hearing, too, on top of that? Come on, fam.
The mercy of the Clark County Eviction Court hearing master, Amy Ferreira.
I am going to allow her to come in and participate in the proceeding.
That proceeding could have spelled the end of that tenancy for Robinson and her 2 young children. But her landlord agreed to let her stay because she has a rental assistant application pending. But
I see her down in Miami on Miami Beach. I'm going to see her down in Miami on Miami Beach. I guarantee you, listen, when I see her down in Miami, we going to be partying. She going to have them little skinny legs out. I'm going to go live on Instagram, and we going to be having a ball, and we going to make sure that we run it up. We going to be pouring liquor in her mouth. Hey, hey, hey. Y'all know that that's the bird call for black people, right? When they having a good time. Hey, 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 hey. She going to be popping that thing. Kids going to be at the baby daddy house. We're going to be making sure we make it rain. We'll see you down in Miami. Don't worry about it.
But they didn't have to, especially since the COVID rule expired.
There is no requirement that a landlord waits on a pending rental assistance application because that particular legislation expired.
However, Robinson's landlord is willing to wait for that rental assistance to kick in.
I wonder how he got paid in the interim. I'm not supposing that anything. Hey, who knows? Maybe.
Robinson another chance.
Did you think you were going to get thrown out today?
Yes, I did.
And she wouldn't be alone. Last month.
Hey, check it out. Got to look at the context clues. I want to show y'all something real quick. You want to know what I see? You want to know what I see? I see black lips. But this is not normal black lips, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just be honest with you. Can we just have a real conversation? This is not normal black lips. Those are weed lips. Meaning that you got money for smoke. You got money to go and get some smokes. Those are weed lips, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, there are some people who just have naturally dark lips, but you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. Those are lips of a person that smoked good. Shout out to So High. You spotted it. You spotted it. That's a person that smoked good. Good. I'm just going to listen. When I start seeing context clues, man, if I want when my people ask for assistance, I want them looking desperate. Oh, I sold everything. I sold all of my products and okay, I help you now. Those are black lips. Listen, communication is 90% body language, 10% of what comes out of your mouth. I don't have no money to smoke. I like my dollars. I don't have no money to smoke. I like my dollars.
Yes, I did.
And she wouldn't be alone. Last month, eviction filings in the
Another
county
one.
went
Hold
up
on,
to
hold
over
on. Another one. Give me a second. Another one. Another one. Now that one got her hair done, wig dig, everything did. Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Hair done, nail done, everything big. Hair done, nails done, everything big. You see the other one all the way on the left? She got another one. One thing about black women is they gonna make sure that they have themselves done. You could tell where their priorities lie.
Last month, eviction filings in the county went up to over 4,200 from 4,084 in July. And the number of evictions granted also went up to almost 3,200 from 2,954 the prior month. And lately, if you don't pay your rent and
another one,
you don't have a legal excuse, the court won't listen.
The court certainly is sympathetic for those particular life circumstances. I'm just not allowed to base my decision on that.
And that means next time, if things don't work out for Imani Robinson and her rental application, she might not be so lucky.
I'm nervous because I don't know what my next steps will be.
Protection still exists for seniors and those with disabilities.
Coming to us. You know what? Let's go. Let's do this. This is coming to a city near you, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have my money, you better go and figure out where you're going to get it from. Use what you got to get what you want. Remember when you was saying that, when you was finessing dudes? Use what you got to go and get what you want. That $40 going a lot further than it did that last time, didn't it? Keep selling your EBT at a discount. It's going to be a great time for the fellas. You ain't even got to get your passport this year. You ain't even got to get your passport this year. You can put it off till next year. It's going to be slim. It's going to be some sweet pickings this year for the passport bros. I thought that they was going to go and pay for some box overseas. It's sweet pickings. I'm telling you. Let me read some of these. I'm just playing Freaky Jason. Don't worry about it. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show. Because I got one more thing I want to go over with you guys before I get you up out of here. C-Money27 says, real talk, I worked 2 jobs for 2 years now. And guess what? Ain't nobody caring about it either. They just saying, go and get your bag up and take care of your business. Edaman Williams says, someone need to get fired. Someone not doing their job. That is unacceptable. Winter is coming and it's going to be cold outside. Shout out Edaman Williams. The Gray Way says, I'm in the bind, Nate. I'm in the bind, Nate. Shout out to you. Krishawn Humphrey in the building says, dang, Steve can't even brush his teeth. Savage. Nah, fam. You using too much water. You got to get out of my place. No more water for you. Edaman Williams says the judge need to hold her accountable. This is sad. Facts. Also, Bernie's Red Book Tour. I like that name. Bernie's Red Book Tour says we getting kicked out while migrants get housed at $140,000 per family per year. You know what I'm saying? Edaman Williams says she mad, a different type of payment. No, y'all kept saying that everything is transactional. Remember when y'all kept telling me that everything is transactional? Oh, it's not transactional no more. I'm a Christian. Why they always want to play the Christian card on you when they start to make mistakes in their life? Ain't you supposed to be a Christian? Ain't the church supposed to help people? That's not what I read in the good book. What I read in the good book is that the word is the word. It was here today. It's going to be there tomorrow. And everything is on condition. If you suffer with me, you will reign with me. If then statements is all I see inside of the word of God, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If then statements, if you do this, then you will be blessed. If you listen to me, then you will be saved. If you profess my name and to be your Savior and your Lord, then I will make sure that I call you my friends. I call you my friends. I see if-then statements. I don't see nothing that said that I owed you anything. It said that you were bought and paid for with a price, and now you got a choice. It's now available to the Jews and the Gentiles alike. Nobody is to be excluded. Everybody has an opportunity. But it didn't say that I owed you a dime. That's not what it said. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it said. Shout out to y'all. Let's go ahead and get over into this last thing. I want to share one more thing with y'all, right? Because I don't want to leave y'all by yourself, for yourself. I don't want to leave you desolate. I also want to give you an opportunity to come over and get a job. Listen, in the beginning of the show, I said, don't spare the rod because you're going to spoil the child. And I taught you how it is that you were supposed to prevent your children. Let me put this up because we already done with the children for the day. Prevent your children from being arrested and then making my license plates because they was over there looting stores over there in Philadelphia. And then I told y'all about how it is that they was over there closing all of the Target stores, the Target stores, the Target stores, because y'all want to go over here and y'all want to ruin your own neighborhoods and protesting when it ain't even nothing to protest. Definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Shout out to Jadis. And then I helped y'all to understand how you couldn't get evicted because you was going to pay your bills on time. You know what I'm saying? And I even showed you how much taxes was being put into your EBT card as a result of all of these entertainers and high tax people, and 1% of the population is paying more than 95% of the taxes. But I didn't want to leave you alone today. I didn't want to leave you alone today. What I wanted to do was make sure that you had an opportunity for employment. Because I understand that everybody deserves a second and third chance. I don't want to give you a fish. That's not what Jesus taught us to do. He told us to teach them how to fish. Don't just feed them. Teach them how to feed themselves so that they can be accountable. Is Carrie in here today? Where's Carrie at? Let me make sure that Carrie. What's going on with Carrie? I ain't seen her at all today. Y'all think that y'all just going to be getting away and y'all not going to be showing up to do what you're supposed to do at the front of the congregation. Where is Carrie? I haven't seen Carrie in here today. I certainly have not seen Carrie in here today. Is anybody? Has Carrie been in the chat today? You know, people don't want to answer the phone when they. Where I have not seen you in the chat today, Carrie. What is going on? What is going on, Carrie? You busy? You that busy today?
So I just got finished watching
Carrie.
I'm literally about to log on.
Carrie, how come every time somebody is late to work or they late to church, there's always somebody's funeral? And it's the great aunt this time?
I'm not lying. My great auntie.
All right, send my condolences. We'll be here for another 15, 20 minutes waiting on you. I want to see you in the chat.
Okay, I'm tapping in right now.
All right, Carrie. Listen, I got to hold my chasers accountable. When I see my people missing, I got to check on them and see I know my chasers' phone numbers personally. I got them all lined up. Where's she been at? I know she usually late, but where's she been at today? You know what I'm saying? I need to know where my people at all times. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's go ahead and talk about these factories because we want to make sure that y'all get some jobs out here in these streets and not just keep on stealing.
More than 19 million Americans held a job in manufacturing during the peak.
Hey, Carrie. Carrie, you're going to have to rewatch the show. Hey, Carrie.
In 1979. Since then, that number has tumbled by nearly 36% to just 12.5 million in November 2021. In comparison, non-farm employees grew more than 65% during the same period.
There are several reasons for this. One is that manufacturing steadily is becoming a more complex industry, where you need more people with advanced degrees and professional certificates.
Over the last 50 years, certain industries that just aren't really well suited for the U.S. economy, particularly labor-intensive, low-wage manufacturing and things like textiles or furniture, have moved offshore.
But now, the U.S. is spending big on industrial policies to bring manufacturers back to America.
Now, if the United States of America, and I want y'all to put everything together, and this is one of the reasons why you want to tune in every single day. You want to be a part of the Millionaire Morning Show, and you definitely want to be tuned into every single subject that I talk about. Let me tell you why. It's because everything is interconnected. Even if you don't see it now, it is definitely interconnected, right? The United States of America has largely, for a long time, for the majority of your lifetimes, the United States of America has largely been a financial industry. Meaning that we make our money off the interest or financing or continuing to do the least effective jobs as far as manufacturing, putting together things, building things. We don't build things in here anymore. Now we just try to sell things. We try to make money off interest. We try to trade. We try to do all of the things that don't require us to actually do anything physical, and we've outsourced that to other countries. But one of the reasons why countries outsource it is not just because Americans have gotten lazier, which we have, but also because it's just cheaper to do so. But throughout the last 20, 30 years, we've reached a situation where jobs are not as plentiful. And even if you do get jobs, they don't necessarily pay as much as you want them to. And you also combine that with the fact that the amount that it costs to continue to manufacture all of these cars and everything else overseas is now reaching parity. It's now growing. It's now, as other countries become more successful, as their workforce continue to grow, as they become more prosperous, the cost of doing business continues to go up. And so what do? They have to now incentivize companies and factories to come back to the United States of America, A, for political reasons, and then B, because they want to control what is going on as far as the distribution process and competition worldwide. Okay, well, Anton, what do you mean by that? I'll give you an example. Semiconductor chip shortages, right? We seen what happened in the pandemic. And also, semiconductor chips is largely the thing that powers the overwhelming majority of every single thing that we touch today. Even your cars, it has hundreds of chips in it. Your phones, your TVs, technology, every single thing you touch is semiconductor chips, especially when it comes to the drones and the military and all of that type of stuff, right? And so now that we're in a war with other countries and we want to continue to be ahead of them, especially as far as our technological advances, we're in a war with other countries that you don't even know about over in China. They're worried about China invading Taiwan in order to continue to source out their technology because the U.S. now has a stronghold on how far advanced our semiconductor chips are and the technology that's being used in order to have themselves a leg up on the competition or other countries. If you're paying attention to the news and you understand how it comes back down to the money, for example, you understand that there was a man that defected away from ASML. ASML is the only company in the world that puts together and manufactures the machines that go inside of the plants that then make semiconductor chips. You should probably look into that. It's an investment opportunity. I am invested in ASML. I've been talking about it for years, and now it's coming full circle, and now you know why I invested in it, because I'm intimately connected. Make sure you tap into the Patreon for the 8 things that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company. My point is this. They're now incentivizing manufacturing to come back to the United States of America because A, jobs, politics. B, we have to continue to control logistics. And then C, we now have a workforce that we're inputting. This last part is just my opinion. It's a theory. I can't substantiate it. We now have a workforce that we're putting together, especially with our open borders and the ability to give jobs to people that have already been approved for legal status and to be able to work here in the United States of America. Tesla is going to have over 60,000 new jobs in Texas, Giga Texas. They're making a new Model Y. It's the biggest selling car in the entire world as of the last quarter and growing. They just refreshed the Model 3. They got the Cybertruck coming. Every single large chip manufacturing are building chips all across the country, and they just passed the CHIPS Act last year. You wasn't paying attention to it. You didn't look at it. You didn't see what was happening. They passed the CHIPS Act, which all of the major chip companies lobbied for together in order to ensure that they have the finances and the resources to make it incentivized for them to continue to build plants here in the United States of America, which also allows for us to be able to control the distribution process, the manufacturing process. And we also need people to work in these plants. I'm sorry, I was supposed to let the video play. You know me, I get a little bit ahead of myself as far as what it is that I want to communicate to y'all.
Policy. It is the use of some sort of government power, either legal power or taxing power or tax abating power or some other thing to have the economy start producing some things that the government thinks it needs to be producing and maybe isn't producing.
If you look at the 3 pieces of legislation, the CHIPS and Science Act,
the CHIPS and Science Act. A lot of you guys never read it because you were so busy focused on the Second Amendment and the Third Amendment and gun laws and abortion and all of this other type of stuff. You was never looking at what got passed through in the CHIPS Act. You don't even know where your tax dollars are going. It was a real thing, and it was lobbied for by the major chip companies. And they received billions in tax incentives for them to build plants where they're going to be building plants in order to continue to boost the economy and also manufacturing here in the United States of America.
Bipartisan infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act. You're looking at more than $1 trillion.
Now remember, it's more than $1 trillion that's being incentivized to be spent here in the United States of America on behalf of you, the taxpayer. All of this was passed during the Biden administration. In the minimal amount of time, see, listen, while y'all was being distracted and while Biden is over there on the picket lines today, trying to drum up votes in order to get UAW endorsement. All of these things were passed during the Biden administration, over $1 trillion in incentives. Now, where do you think all of that money is going? Somebody is getting a bag. Are you not paying attention? Are you not capitalized off of it? Are you not really understanding where the majority of the resources in your tax dollars are going, why they are incentivized to bring manufacturing back to the United States of America, why these budgets and these acts are passed as a result of it? No, you're not familiar with it. And you don't even know what state is going to get what. You don't even know if your legislative branch, your local legislation, your governors are actually participating and lobbying for these jobs that's ultimately going to affect what it is your lifestyle is going to be.
New government spending on industrial policy.
Not all economists believe the government should be playing favorites.
Politicians and bureaucrats are ill-suited to pick winners in the market. If the federal government puts its thumb on the scale on one side, there is inevitably going to be some sort of loser.
So how exactly is the U.S. government convincing manufacturers to return? And will its bet pay off? This isn't the first time the U.S. government has directly interfered with the free market.
Industrial policy in the U.S. was started by Alexander Hamilton. The U.S. was weak in terms of making things, and we knew we had to be strong, had to make cannons and muskets and whatever. And so they put on heavy tariff walls that made it not economic to import things, and therefore companies here started to make.
But before we move over into this is a good point, because every major revolution was basically manufactured. Before we move forward and before I show y'all a little bit more, I just want y'all to understand that every major movement within the United States of America, especially when it comes to the financial incentives that came along with doing the thing that was in our best interest, the auto companies, right? The line, even slavery itself, all of it was actually put into place and manufactured. There was no real free enterprise and capitalization and market capitalization based off of, right, innovation. Innovation was not the thing that created what it is that we wanted. It was all incentivized by the federal government. The factories, the lines, the fact that women were working in factories as a result of us going over in a war. All of that stuff was created for us. These were industries that were created by a federal government that also spurred innovation and growth within your society. If you ever want to do something for somebody, then incentivize them to do it for themselves. And then label market, free market, and capitalism and throw that on top of it to make them think that they actually did it for themselves. I don't want to speak too much on what's going on over in Ukraine, but I do know that I've read reports about how there's certain companies here in the U.S. that's also capitalizing off of rebuilding what's going on in Ukraine. There's a lot of profitability that came along with this war. We don't want to ask the questions that's pertinent. So let me move over a little bit.
Somebody else. U.S. manufacturing.
According to the Treasury Department,
the EV battery tax credit is $7.5 thousand per new car, and then a $4,000 credit when you sell the.
Now think about that for a minute. When they give you tax credits, they're incentivizing you to spend money on something that you otherwise would not have. As much as people may not like EVs, I like internal gas combustion engines, I like cars and all of this stuff, I like the sound of it. It's coming. It doesn't matter. When the government starts to incentivize to do something that they want to do, it is going to happen. All they have to do is build the infrastructure for it. You know why we don't have self-driving cars? It's not that the technology is not there. It's that we haven't incentivized ourselves to actually adopt it yet because we don't have the infrastructure to support it. It's not that we can't do it. It's that we're not interested in it yet. We've had electric cars for literally decades now. We've just started incentivizing people, and they thought that it was their idea, but we incentivize people to do the thing that we want to go into technologically as far as the next vision for what America is supposed to be. And so what the federal government usually does is they incentivize you by giving you tax credits. If they want you to have children, then they're going to give you tax credits. If they want you to get married, they're going to incentivize you to get married because for whatever reason, they understand exactly what the agenda is. Y'all thought that y'all had your own mind. Y'all not. Y'all just speaking talking points that was given to you.
Used car to somebody else. U.S. manufacturing cost isn't that much higher than doing it in China, for example. And therefore, it would clearly be more profitable to do it here than it would be to ship it, make it there and ship it here. So the incentives have been huge.
Meanwhile, the CHIPS and Science Act of 2022 set aside $50 billion to boost America's competitiveness in semiconductors. The Semiconductor Industry Association estimates that the act has attracted over $210 billion in private investments across.
Which we can't even substantiate that yet because they haven't even built one chip here in America after the CHIPS Act is passed. But they're going to throw these numbers at you. Let's continue.
22 states.
We make a fair amount of them, but we are highly reliant on a relatively small set of sources, especially Taiwanese. One of the lessons that not only the government have drawn from COVID is that semiconductor sector is at the core of a lot of advanced manufacturing and even a lot of mid-level consumer goods manufacturing, and that we can't really afford an interruption of semiconductor supply.
All major U.S. defense systems today rely on semiconductors in order to function. The Biden administration has referred to the reshoring of semiconductors as a matter of national security.
There is a theoretical case for industrial policy.
It's a matter of national security, which means that they're going to pump more money into these companies than ever before. If I'm you, I'm trying to understand how the semiconductor chip industry, not only the chip companies, but every single company that's attached to it, the manufacturing, the selling, the moving, the logistics, every single part that's placed into it. If I'm you and I hear the government says that it's a matter of national security, that means that it's going to be money flying everywhere. If I'm you and I hear the government say this is a matter of national security, that we have to remain the chip leader for now into eternity, I'm looking at this as an opportunity, and I'm starting to immediately do my research as to how it is that I can profit for this for the next 10 to 15 years. I've been telling you this literally for the last 2.5 years. I've been having this conversation with y'all forever. You just now catching on? You just now came over into the Millionaire Morning Show? Your friends and family didn't send you over the show in order for you to catch on? I've been talking about this for years. See, this is not the sexy conversation. This is not the thing that you want to hear because it's almost like chastising you so you can do the thing that's in your own best interest. But it's here.
Particularly in national security related technologies. Free markets just simply can't account for that national security issue. And the Defense Department is not a big enough buyer to, in itself, in its own demand, to ensure that we have sufficient onshore supply.
If successful, industrial policies can also potentially lead to big payoffs.
The development of space industry. We now have a large commercial space launch industry. That investment of public money in space science is now having a big commercial payoff. Another example would be the development of mRNA vaccines for COVID. They put out a goal for business to do and they financed it, and the businesses delivered on it. And that cost a lot of money, but I think most people would say it was well worth it.
But there are also strong cases against them.
Politicians and bureaucrats are ill-suited to pick winners in the market. The real economy is insanely complex, involving millions of people and millions of transactions every single day. What is potentially strategic today might change dramatically tomorrow.
So basically what he's telling you is that all the federal government can do is incentivize the industry, and they can influence the industry, but it's up to the manufacturers, it's up to you as consumers, and it's up to the marketers and the people that are going to make money or stand to benefit from this to actually implement the things that we see happening in the world today. The reason why the United States of America is bringing manufacturing back to the United States of America is not necessarily because we're financially incentivized to do so, is that we don't have any choice in order to maintain control, in order to compete against other countries, in order to maintain political power. And then we also have to create a workforce that'll actually work in these companies and in these factories, that are smart enough, that are wise enough, and that are also, they have the level of endurance in order to be there long enough to actually put together this thing, because you're always going to be incentivized to do the thing that's not in your best interest if you're not informed, versus actually just doing stuff because you think that you came up with the idea on your own. No idea is original. Everything is incentivized. Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure that you share this with your family and friends. We had a great show today. It was an awesome, entertaining show today. Let me read a couple of super chats. Shout out to Lashed Tooks over here on Cash App, hooking your boy up. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking care of me. Also, on top of that, I want to make sure that I give a shout out to Jadis. Jadis says, yo, what up, though? Shout out to the Bag Chaser. Shout out to my Detroit players. My channel just hit 2K. And had to pay respect to the role model. Shout out to Jadis. I gave y'all a masterclass inside of the Patreon on how it is that y'all can leverage y'all platforms to get a much, much bigger bag than y'all think that y'all can get. Also, Bernie's book tour, Road Book Tour says, next migration, Black Americans seeking refuge from themselves. I've been seeking refuge from what it is I've seen in these streets for a long time. And then my dog Brock is in the building, says, Pastor Love offering phenomenal show. As always, I live here. Thank you. No, thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. And then my dog, shout out to my dog, Marcus Hill in the building. Marcus Hill says, good afternoon, Anton and fellow chasers. I will be sending a follow-up email today in regards to booking a session with you. Let me give y'all a round of applause today. This round of applause is for every single person that hit a like for the algorithm. Everybody that joined the Bag Chasers today. Everybody that stuck around in order to get all of the information so you can make a more informed decision on how it is that you can improve your life today. This is for the person that actually shared this with their family and friends because they didn't want to be broke by themselves. This is for everybody that subscribed to the channel. And this is for every single person that has been loyal to what it is that we putting together here because we coming for that $30 million. You know what I'm saying? Let me read this really quick. Nick Breaker says, Princella called you out for a debate, Anton. I smell barbecue chicken. On whose side? On her side? I wanted to do it in person. That's why I flew down to Dallas. Somebody was a no-show, though. For whatever reason. Listen, I don't deal with excuses. All I know is results. I flew down to Dallas, and I don't know if this is true or not. This sounds like cap, because I don't know anybody that want no debate smoke with me, but we can have this conversation real quick. I flew down to Dallas because the promoters had booked me and booked them to be a part of this show. Somebody pulled out for whatever reason, and it is what it is. So, listen. I'm Floyd. You, whoever it is that you are. Pick one. I show up. I've been here. It is what it is. Listen, God bless her. God bless her. I want her to win. I want her to be successful. I don't have no smoke for nobody. I want everybody to get the bag and be great. Just be careful. Be careful who you call out. I might be listening. And it might be one of them days that I don't feel like I'm that far removed from where it is that I used to be. I'm a nicer guy now. I am so nice. I'm so helpful. I love all content creators. I feel like we all brothers and sisters. Sometimes you got to chastise your brothers and sisters. Sometimes you got to help them to remember who's the older brother out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Listen, God bless her. She need to go and seek Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I love interacting with the chat. Thank you guys for continuing to have a conversation with me. And we doing great things. Every single morning we cook up. We don't miss ever. Make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you guys. I appreciate you. But I need you guys to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, all right? Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. Don't let nobody distract y'all from what it is that we got going on out here in these streets. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are the greatest audience on earth. And shout out to Carrie for showing up. Carrie said, I might not be on time, but I'm here. That's my girl. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight. I'm going live tonight on the Anton Daniels channel, and we're going to kick it. I'm going live tonight on the Anton Daniels channel, and we going to kick it. And you know what I do on the Anton Daniels channel? I drop the link in the chat. I dropped the link in the chat. I dropped the link in the chat on the Anton Daniels channel every single Wednesday. I'm going to see y'all tonight. Make sure y'all tune in. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Hold on. Let me come back for y'all. You have no clue what's going to happen on a Wednesday night. I can't predict it. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. All I'm going to tell you is just show up.